Rdapdan speaking. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the video, and watch the video over and over and over again. Enjoy. Hey YouTube, Rdapdan here again. Gonna make you guys a quick video from Fishscale. Fishscale asked me, Dan, can you please talk more in depth about the bathroom situation for men at a low? Also, the difference between a low and a camp. I've been pretty upset. I was sent to a low when I had no prior record. Also, I am going to Beaumont, Texas low. 3 weeks until self-surrender. And then just now an email came in which goes along with this one. Hello, my name is Jamie. I was recently arrested by the DEA for conspiracy to distribute. I'm wondering about the custody level. I've watched your videos and was wondering why you got classed to a low instead of a camp. We'll start off with Fishscale's questions about the bathroom situation at a low. For the most part, and from what I've seen at the low that I was at, and my girlfriend was at a camp, she said it was very similar. The bathrooms are opened and they're partitioned off. You have your shower section, you have your toilet section, and you have your sink section. In the shower section, you've got individual showers that have concrete walls or cement walls, whatever they use, with a shower curtain. They're one-man showers. There's about 10 of them on each side. So you have roughly 20 showers, give or take, depending on the size of your prison. You might have more, you might have less. But it should be adequate for taking a shower whenever you need to take a shower. You can pretty much shower all day, every day. You can't shower during count time. You can't shower like after lights out at a low. Some camps might let you shower whenever you want, but at a low, usually past 10, 11 p.m., there's no more showers until like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then from that point, you can pretty much shower all day unless they're cleaning the showers. So you have privacy in the shower, one man to a shower. If you walk by the shower and you see 4 feet down there, that means there's probably love in the air and you may want to go back the other direction. Make sure you get yourself a pair of shower slides. They'll probably give you something the minute you get there to wear. You definitely want to buy a pair of shower slides. They're cheap on commissary. They're $2 or $3. You can buy really nice ones like Nike ones for like 20 or 30 bucks. But you don't want to be walking around barefoot. You don't know what goes on in those showers. Whatever you imagine goes on in those showers is what goes on in those showers. So you don't want to catch anything. You don't want to pick anything up on your feet. They do clean the showers every day, at least where I was at. They cleaned them every day and they did a pretty good job. I've seen people, honestly, I've seen people take a shit in the shower. I haven't actually seen them, but you go into the shower and some idiot decided to take a shit in the shower. It's pretty disgusting. So don't ever go into the shower without your shower shoes on. Toilets are set up pretty much the same way. You have a separate section for your toilets. You have individual stalls with doors, just like you would see like in a public restroom. They're not quite as nice as the ones in a public restroom, but regular toilets, toilet paper, all the normal stuff that you need. Men's facilities have stand-up urinals as well, so you can stand up, take a leak. Your sinks are separated. They're in a little private area where you've got, anywhere from 6 to 10, 12, 15 sinks, depending on the size of your facility. Plenty of sinks, soap, mirrors in front of you. I heard there are some lows that instead of open bay dorms like I was in, it was like a cubed dorm. It looked kind of like Orange is the New Black. They were cubes. They weren't cells. But in some of the lows that have actual 2 or 3 man cells, you probably have a toilet inside your cell, and that's where your toilet will be, and then your shower and sinks will be in the general public use area. Don't freak out if you're going to go to a place that has 2 or 3 man cells. For the most part, you and your cellies are going to give each other respect. When it's time for you to use the bathroom, he's going to get out of the cell, let you do what you got to do. Unless you're taking a quick leak, you're probably not going to care. You're just going to turn your back to him, do your business, and flush the toilet, wash your hands. No need to really worry about that too much. The big difference between a camp and a low is your custody level. At a camp, you have outside custody, which means you can go out into general public. You can be around regular people, civilians. You can have a job that requires you to go off of the prison facility. You could be working at an Army base or an Air Force base with regular people. You could be on lawn maintenance where you're cutting, grounds somewhere that's outside of the prison walls. You might be a town driver where you're driving people that are in prison. You might be driving them to the airport. You might be driving them to medical appointments, things like that. So your custody level is a lot more open to, as when you're at a low or higher up, your custody level restricts you to that compound. There's no leaving the compound unless you're escorted. If you're ever taken off the compound, like you need to go to medical, court, anything like that, you're shackled up, handcuffed, chained with your hands to your feet. It's a horrible feeling. I had to go to medical once, and I hated it. Everybody else was like, oh, you get to get out of here for a minute. You get to see real people, even though you're in a van. You get to see cars passing. I hated it. They brought me to a dermatologist's office, a regular dermatologist's office. They brought me in all shackled up. They put me in the waiting room. I was there with regular people being stared at like I was some crazy criminal. So I really didn't care for that part of it too much. If you're in a camp, you probably won't experience that. Fishscale, you were saying that you're not sure why you're going too low when you have no previous record. If you scored high enough on your points and it puts you into a low security versus a camp, that's why. It's strictly based on your points. It's not really based on, I mean, it is based on your past, but wherever your points land from this current charge must have landed you high enough to go into a low security. Unless your situation was like mine, and this kind of answers your question, Jamie. You're asking me why I went to a low versus a camp. I had camp points. I had the lowest points you could possibly have. I think I had like 1 or 2 points. The reason why I went to a low is I had a detainer, which is like a hold from another county for maybe an open case, a case that hasn't been dispositioned properly, or it wasn't final dispositioned yet. So and to break that down for you, if you have any warrants anywhere from any other state, any other county, and it's not finalized, it's still, something is ongoing, it's still pending, they haven't filed charges on you yet, you got arrested, nothing ever happened, it's still just sitting out there, that's an open case. That's a detainer. That will prevent you from going to a camp. It will also prevent you from getting into any type of programs like Rdap, and it will also prevent you from going to halfway house, getting out of prison early. If you have a detainer or you're not sure, anywhere you've been arrested the last, I would say 10 years, just go back 10 years, call those counties, ask if there's anything open pending with your name on it, and if there is, see what you got to do to get it taken care of. I was already at the low when I found out the detainer was there. I found out at that point that I had camp points, and I had to stay at the low until I got my detainer lifted. Well, right around the time I got my detainer lifted, I was also entering into Rdap. So I had to make the decision to get transferred to a camp, which could have taken a couple of months, or start Rdap and start my 9-month Rdap program. The minute I finished Rdap, I knew I was going to be leaving to halfway house. So I decided to deal with the low because it wasn't that bad where I was at Coleman low. So that should answer some of your guys' questions. Jamie, if you're not sure where you're going, your attorney should have your custody points, should show how many points you have. If you don't have your custody points, any paperwork that you do have, feel free to send me. You have my email. I'd be more than happy to look it over for you. If you have a PSR, a pre-sentencing report, that should also show you kind of where you're falling into point-wise, category offense and all that stuff. If you don't have a PSR and you're still early in on your case and you want to get a PSR, I can help you get a PSR ahead of time. You're still going to get your actual PSR after you either plead guilty or you're found guilty. You're going to go meet probation at that point where they're going to interview you. They're going to generate your PSR, and that's going to be the recommendation that they give to the judge, recommending how much time they feel the judge should give you. It's still up to the judge. Well, the video is long enough. I'm trying to keep these things short and sweet, learning how to edit and all that fun stuff. Keep the questions coming. I hope this helped you guys with some of your questions. Fishscale, you also asked me a question about my original video that I posted prior to going to prison about wearing the prison outfit into prison. I did wear it. I do have photos. I'm waiting for the photos to get sent to me from my friend that actually went in the doors with me. The picture you see in my main profile picture for my icon on Google, that's the actual costume I wore in. Didn't go over well. I will make a video on that once I get to the actual photos from my buddy, and I'll post that on there so you can see what it was like, but it was quite an experience. So if you guys have the ability to self-surrender, obviously don't do anything that's going to get yourself in trouble, but how many times are you going to get to walk into prison and say, hey, I'm here? So make a statement. Fuck them. Do what you got to do. To those of you going to prison soon, good luck, Godspeed. Most of you will be out soon. Jamie, I don't know your situation. Conspiracies are scary. So if you want to send me some more information, I'll be more than happy to go into depth about that with you. All right, guys. Rdapdan. Thanks.